What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back to the Redemption series. This podcast is a battleground for anyone trying to rebuild their life from the ground up. No fake perfection here, just raw, honest conversations about faith, recovery, and becoming exactly who God created you to be. A place where we talk about faith, healing, redemption, purpose, and the real life struggles we all face while following God. Pain may be a part of your story, but redemption can be too. Today's message is when you feel stuck, God is still working. Because if we're honest, every one of us has experienced a season where life feels like life has stopped moving. Maybe you're stuck in addiction. Maybe you're stuck in a difficult situation. Maybe you're stuck financially in a prison cell. Maybe you're stuck waiting for God to answer a prayer. And after a while, you start asking questions like, where you at, God? Why isn't anything changing? Am I ever going to get through this? And when we can't see progress, it's easy to believe that nothing is happening. But just because you feel stuck doesn't mean God has stopped working. Sometimes God is doing his greatest work in the seasons that feel the slowest. One of the hardest things about feeling stuck is that we measure progress by what we can see. If nothing changes around us, we just assume nothing is changing at all. But God often works beneath the surface long before we see visible results. Think about a seed planted in the ground. For weeks, it looks like absolutely nothing is happening. No growth, no movement, no evidence. But underground, roots are forming. The foundation is growing before the fruit even appears. Romans 8 and 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are created according to his purpose. God is working even when you can't see it. And sometimes what feels like being stuck is actually God preparing you for what's next. Nobody likes waiting. Nobody enjoys feeling like they're standing still while everyone else seems to be moving forward. But some of God's greatest preparation happens in hidden seasons. Look at Joseph. God gave him a dream, but before that dream became reality, Joseph experienced betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and a prison sentence. Imagine how easy it would have been for Joseph to believe God had forgotten him. But God was working the entire time. Every setback was a part of a bigger plan. Genesis 50 and 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. What looked like a dead end was actually preparation. What looked like a delay was actually divine positioning. And God still works that way today. Believe it or not, some of your greatest growth happens when life feels stuck. That's because God is often more concerned with developing your character than changing your circumstances. When everything is going well, faith is easy. But when we stuck, that's when trust gets tested. That's when perseverance gets built. That's when your relationship with God grows stronger. James 1, 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy whenever you feel, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. The struggle may not feel good, but God can use it to shape you into the person he created you to become. And never ever give up before the breakthrough. Somebody listening today is tired. You've been praying, believing, you've been trying to do the right thing, and you wondering if anything will ever change. But don't quit now. Don't stop praying. Don't stop trusting. Do not stop believing because you don't know what God is doing behind the scenes. Galatians 6 and 9 say, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. If we do not give up. That's the key, y'all. The enemy wants you to get discouraged, just enough to stop before the breakthrough comes. But God calls us to remain faithful. He is still writing your story. One thing I've learned is that some of the chapters I wanted to escape ended up becoming some of the chapters God used the most. The pain taught me something. The struggle strengthened me. The waiting deepened my faith. And many times what felt like God saying no was actually God saying not yet. Philippians 1 and 6. being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. God always finishes what he starts. Your story ain't over. The season you're in right now is not the final chapter. God is still working. If you're feeling stuck today, I'm asking y'all, don't lose hope. God sees where you at. God knows what you're carrying. God understands every frustration, every setback, and every unanswered prayer. And even when it feels like nothing is changing, he is still moving. He is still preparing, still strengthening, and he is still opening doors. He is still writing a story. Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So keep praying, keep trusting, keep showing up, and keep believing. Because being stuck does not mean you're forgotten. And just because you can't see God working, don't mean he ain't. Keep the faith. And remember, some of the greatest miracles in your life may be happening beneath the surface where you can't see them yet. Just because you're in a season that feels stuck, don't mean God has stopped moving. He is still preparing, still growing, and still working. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who feels stuck and needs a reminder that God hasn't forgotten them. Keep fighting. This is the Redemption Series, where pain meets purpose. Until next time, I love y'all.